Hello everyone, happy Friday! Thank God, what a week. Time for a little coffee talk. I thought we'd check in on our girl, Chantal, Marie, Foodie Beauty, Big Beautiful Me. Tiny bit of housekeeping. Thank you to everyone who commented on yesterday's video. I was having an extremely rough day, was feeling very lonely, and all sorts of other stuff that comes with feeling mentally like crap. And the comments were just overwhelming. I was surprised to see so many. And so many positive ones, and people who could relate, and people who said I identify, and all that kind of stuff. Made me feel like less of a freak than I felt yesterday. So thank you for all your kind words. They meant a lot to me, they meant a lot to Mark as well. So, after that thank you, let's dive in. Now, last time we checked on our friend, let's see where she was. She did a Costco haul. I don't know, I didn't even do that. Last week when I checked in, I did a compare and contrast between Amberlynn and Chantal. A little bit of back and forth. So, Chantal put out a lot of crap this week. So I'm gonna try to maneuver through this, and give you some of the highlights, some of the things I thought she did well, some of the things I thought she found as challenges, and a couple places where, God love her, she was somewhere between lying and being a hypocrite. Her journey, her channel, but I'm just watching, okay? So the first video that came out was 6 days ago. New exciting direction for the channel. Okay. Now, I thought she was a little deliberately upbeat. She was positive, and she usually does smile unless she's doing an angry rant, but it was a little too much like, hey guys, hey guys, hey guys, hey. It was a little over the top. She said she's working on improving herself, but that she stopped taking the Vyvanse, the weight loss medication that she had been taking, because she was having bad side effects. And the idea that popping a pill really wasn't cutting it. I don't know what that meant for any antidepressant she might have been taking, but. So she introduces this, I think I want to call it improvement pill, 6 ways to cure depression. Now, after having 3 weeks of solid medical advice, and therapy, I'm assuming, and doctor visits and nutrition visits, she watches an 11-minute video, her words, and got really sucked into it. So she goes over all the bullet points of all 6 of those things. I don't know. She talks a little bit about her nutrition, and she explicitly says, I'm not doing keto. Definitely not doing a keto lifestyle. Put a pin in that, okay? So, right after that, she posted a video about the comments, and it's, you know, typical Chantal fashion, and Amberlynn does it too. Anyone who's been targeted on YouTube, whether they've contributed to it or not, gets a lot of harsh feedback. And Chantal's notorious for disabling her comments back and forth off and on when she can't cope with the negative feedback for whatever reason. So, she's trying to rise above the negativity. Good for her. Rising above negativity is a good thing. She was talking about the previous video's comments, and then she mentioned keto again. Her doctor and nutritionist advised against, she was emphatic, keto, and said, quote, take it up with them if you don't like it. So, going beyond that, she starts into what was supposed to be the new and exciting direction of the channel, which was like travel vlogs, which I really like. I can see why she doesn't, because I'm looking at the view count, and when she talks about food or being overweight, it's 16,000, 20,000, however many views. When she does her travel vlogs, they're under 10 a lot of the time. So in terms of just monetizing, I can see why she wouldn't stick to it. Frankly, I like when she vlogs about anything other than food or weight. I just think to the extent that she has a personality that's enjoyable, it comes out more in talking about those different topics. But it's her channel, and this is the direction she's changed to again, and then later, again. So they do Sunset in the Park for the third video, summer 2019, and she goes with BB, and they take a drive and go watch it. Still love the drives through Canada. Absolutely loving them. I think it's very scenic. She again reiterates before she goes on the drive a few bits of her own housekeeping, that comments won't be off forever, which is true, because they'll go off and on. And her doctor wanted her to try the diet medication again, the Vyvanse again. Chantal on speed. But it does seem to be, she doesn't seem too cracked out, so I don't think, she said she was having adverse side effects, which is why she stopped it in the beginning, But then working with her doctor, they decided to give it a little bit more time. So, good for her. I mean, that's medical advice, and that's solid medical advice. It's not a YouTube video. So, there's that. Next, now she did a couple live feeds, and as I've said, I love you guys dearly. I have my limits. I don't know if I can watch her talk to, you know, the chat for an hour and a half, 2 hours. It's just not something I think I can do. So I will not be weighing in on those. So if anything is missing that I'm going over here, it's my fault. Please forgive that I didn't look over those bits of content. So if you want to call that incomplete, I can accept that. So she does a travel vlog with Pete's, and then the next thing she goes into is, oh, hold on a second, there was more. I'm getting ahead of myself because I'm so excited. She did a live stream after Sunset in the Park with BB, and then an honest what I ate today. Okay, now, she's starting to tear away from the doctor's advice a little bit. She says she's seeing a psych and a nutritionist, and she's looking at calories. She said she was craving pizza that day. So the thumbnail is her eating pizza in her car. Now, one of the boundaries I thought she had set was not to eat in her car. I don't think I'm making that up. But whatever. And is pizza fast food, which is she's also off? I don't know. You could go either way on that. Call Domino's fast food and artisan pizza not. You know, that we'll leave that one to the historians to sort out. So these little bargains that she's doing, I've gained and lost a bunch of weight. I've gone in and out of addiction to substances. It's these little bargains that get you right back into the old behaviors. Well, I'm not eating fast food, I'm just eating pizza. And I'm only eating it in the car because I just picked it up and I wanted to film. It's not a mukbang because I'm not eating a lot. When there's all these yes buts, yes buts, yes buts, those all add up to you being full of shit at the end. But again, that's up to her. So, went to the beach by herself. Beach looked nice. I like the beach. She was craving, I'm not mad at her because I've seen other people do this. She was craving cheese and took a cup of mozzarella cheese and melted it on a plate. And then had guacamole and salsa on the side. Now, okay. So she's easing her way away from carbs a little bit and she's starting to do a little smack talking, said without the tortilla. She's doing it this way. They do another travel vlog with her and Pete's. Nope, after what I ate today, the travel vlog with Pete's, and within a minute of that video, Pete's is riding on a purple dinosaur. I am fascinated with Pete's. I just can't help it. I just find him so interesting in such a bizarre way. I don't know. I think he's cool. So, they do a tour of a museum, which depending on whether or not you like museums, might be interesting, might not be. They go to a restaurant to go out to eat. She's on a weight loss journey. Is it unreasonable for her to never go out to eat again until she loses these 250 pounds? You know, she doesn't have to nail herself to the cross. She could go out and eat, I guess. She decides she's going to have a fajita bowl with no rice because there's no nutritional value in the rice. Again, the carb trash talking is starting up already. She's steering away from the doctor's advice that you need good carbs and a good balance, and now we're restricting foods again. Which leads us into, there was another chat, and trying keto diet for 30 days, doctor approved. Now, I have thoughts on keto, which I will keep to myself, but if the tone of my voice says anything to you, you might guess what I think. People lose an ass ton of weight on keto. It helps people with their, blood sugar and all sorts of other stuff. When I tried it, it didn't work for me for the reasons I suspect it may not work for her. I like foods that aren't allowed on keto. It's very basic. It's very basic why I don't like keto. It doesn't work for me because I feel deprived cutting out a whole, carbs, protein, fat, and just cutting out the carbs. So, it's not for me. But at any rate, she decides she wants to do it. She acknowledges openly, which, like it needed to be said, that she goes off and on diets and she's not good with follow-through. Good, she owns it. That's fine. No fast food, no drive-thrus, she said she's been sticking to. Okay. I did recall in one of these videos, she was sitting in her car eating a sub. I don't know if subs are fast food. And maybe if she went in and bought it and then ate in the car, it doesn't count as drive-thru. You see what I mean with this little tiny tweaks of things? How you just work your way back away from health and towards something else. So, now she's trying keto. Keto challenge. Doctor said to try it unless it makes her want to binge. They advised against restrictive diets. She then goes on to say that her diet's going to be less than 5% carbs. If that's not restricting, I'm not sure what is. But, you know, again, her journey, her life. So, whatever. Let's see, what else? She also throws a big warning label onto the keto, saying, I'm not going to do this perfectly, I'm just trying it out. That's fair, you know, a little patience getting into it. Took me a while to get into the routine of intermittent fasting. That was mostly what I did to lose the weight that I lost. So, you know, I'll give her a break on that, except for the fact that a week ago, she was medically advised not to do it. And now she went and talked to the doctor, who she said misunderstood her explanation of wanting to do keto, and they've agreed that it's okay. So, I don't know. I don't know what kind of doctor she's seeing. I'm gonna bet dollars to donuts the nutritionist didn't go along with it. But I'm assuming a lot there, so I don't want to dig too far into, you know, what kind of medical advice she's getting behind closed doors. And what happened to the travel plans and the new direction? Now she's going to be sitting there eating Slim Jims wrapped in cream cheese. And if this helps her lose weight and this becomes part of her journey, and again, barring my negative attitude about keto, if she's able to stick to it, she will lose probably a lot of weight. There's a lot of people that do. Zachary Michael, who does reactions to her, is a big proponent of keto, that he's had success in the past and has suggested it for both of them. I like Zach, he's not a doctor, but her own doctor didn't recommend it. But she's going to do what she wants anyway. She's an adult, you know, and we all make our own mistakes and our own decisions, however ill-informed. So, back on the Vyvanse. Forgot about the travel plans. Whatever. She mentions having a lot of surgery, things with polycystic ovarian syndrome, and some other issues she's having. I'm not going to wade into that. That's her physical health. I don't know enough about that to even comment, so I'm going to try to stay in my lane. Sounds like she needs to get a lot of tests done. That was the gist of what I got what she said. She didn't seem, on the surface, to be worried or concerned, but who knows what's going on in her head. So, and who knows how long she's been talking about getting these things done and hasn't done anything about them. So, keto check-in day 2. The cats. Her freaking cats are running in front. Now, I couldn't get Bandit to come out here and be on camera. I tried once and he flew off my lap. So, I'm a little jealous that her cats are so close to her, but if Bandit was this far from the camera, I probably just made everything blurry, I'd probably shut it off and start over. Because you're not wanting to see the cat, probably. Maybe for a cameo, I mean, he's a handsome man, but not for as long as they were there. She did do an Amazon haul. It looks like she did some Googling and found a bunch of supplements that are good for people going into ketosis, because apparently it's going to happen any minute. And magnesium and some other things, and some other sort of... It looked like supplements mostly, like pills that she had bought. People have been hounding her to do keto, so I'll be curious to see how long she holds on to it. I'm not optimistic. 30-day challenge, I'm thinking of the grape lemon fast, I'm thinking of the water fast, I'm thinking of the smoothie fast, I'm thinking of eating vegan, I'm thinking of vegan mukbangs. I mean, any reasonable person would suspect that making a challenge that's 30 days might not last that long if the person hasn't been able to stick to it. And that's something going on in her, that she can't stick to something she wants to do. She's probably disappointed in herself, I would think. She has a conscience, she is. And I don't think Chantal's all bad. So I think she probably feels, I would hope, and you know, I hope she's, I don't want her to feel embarrassed, but I hope it gets her attention that people point out her inconsistency and that she uses that information to kind of guide the direction of her next choice, especially going into the keto thing. So, again, she reiterates the doctor said no restricting, but she's eating less than 5% carbs, that's the goal, and she's limiting dairy. This isn't going to end well. She's a cheese fiend. I'm a cheese fiend. I'm not mad at her, but it's dairy. There's no way. 2 videos ago, she melted a cup of cheese on a plate and ate it. I don't think limiting dairy is going to work. I think she just likes it too much. She would fail at that for the reason I fail at keto. Foods I like aren't included in this eating plan. And for me, that means it's not for me, because I could keep up keto for probably a week and a half, And once the flu's gone, probably want to go to Carvel. You know, I mean, that's just how I roll. Low carb's not for me. Based on her other food choices, I don't know if it's for her. But again, she's only on day 2 of it. Oh, and here's the last thing with the mukbangs and the fast food. She's talking about someone keto in Canada, I forget the name, that actually goes to McDonald's a lot and gets like a chicken sandwich with this and that and doesn't eat the bun. I'm loving how, okay, now she's eating in the car again. Whew, sorry about that. My phone overheated? I don't know. It's not that hot. So at any rate, the fast food thing. So Keto Canada is going to McDonald's. I can just hear Chantal taking the bun off a burger. I can just hear it. Taking, you know, the buns out of the middle of the Big Mac and stacking them up together. And if that's on the diet, so be it. But her medical advice and what she agreed to originally was shopping once a month, which she said she's doing, which is good. No fast food, no eating in your room, no eating in the car. So we're only about, I think, 50% there. And again, if Chantal's anything like me, and she kind of is, when it comes to getting your fix, even when you're trying to be abstinent or set boundaries, like I said before, you make these 1,000 little bits of bargains that bring you back to where you started from. When I would do it with drinking, it's like, I'm not going to drink. And then it's like, well, I'll only drink at weddings. Well, then I'll only drink wine and beer. Well, I'll only have mixed drinks. Only on weekends. Only on weeknights. Only on days that end with day. Like, eventually you find a reason to go back to doing exactly what you want to do. And then you realize then you've come, hopefully you realize you're so far away from where you started. We'll see. We'll see if that's the case with her. I parallel her eating issues with my own history of addiction a lot because I see parallels. And I've said before, her at her worst, like the indecisive, not taking care of herself, blowing off advice that she begged for 3 weeks ago. I've done that. You know, so I'm not, it's frustrating, but I'm not mad at her because she didn't invent it. She's not the first person to be that inconsistent. I wasn't either, actually. But at the same time, it shouldn't be a surprise in the comments section that people would point that out. She says she knows, she says she owns it, but does she really? If it keeps happening over and over? Is there a therapeutic component that maybe isn't going on with her treatment with the doctor between the shrink and the nutritionist? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. So, happy trails with the keto. Again, I have my own opinions about it for myself, which I generalize from the part to the whole, and I know that that's wrong, so I'm not saying you shouldn't do keto. I'm not saying that your results on keto aren't well earned, that your blood sugar is not in fact lower, that you didn't lose the 100 pounds you lost. All those things do happen on keto. My concern is that the medical advice she had, which was not to restrict, she's going to be restricting certain food groups and certain things out of her diet. The advice of don't eat in your car is already gone because she's filmed that. That's already happened. And what I'm thinking with this cute little fast food thing, it's like, well, if I go in there and order the food and bring it out and sit in my car and eat it, it's not the same as drive-through. Like, that's the kind of bullshit I used to say, and I'm gonna lay down money that that's probably gonna work its way in here somehow. So that's all I have on Chantal Marie, Foodie Beauty, Big Beautiful Me. Again, I wish her the best going forward. I'm cautiously optimistic. I usually try to get behind people who are starting a new journey because who knows, keto could be the thing that works for her. Her track record says she won't stick to it too long, and that's fair because she hasn't, and it's well documented that she doesn't. But I hope if she does see results, that motivates her to continue with it, and then that lets her address her other health problems, which could be quite pressing. So, not to mention the pulmonary embolisms. That shouldn't go on the back burner either. So, thank y'all for watching. Please subscribe. Give Mark and I a thumbs up if you feel so inclined. You can follow us on Facebook at SmokeySteveAndMarc or on Instagram at SmokeySteveAndMarc. I'll include our email address below, and we just got a P.O. box too, so I'll put the address below for that, for any correspondence. And that's all I got. So again, TGIF, happy Friday. Thank you to everyone who commented on yesterday's video. Really, it meant more than I thought it would. I was sitting there refreshing the comments like this because more and more support kept coming through, and I felt less like a freak, less alone, less of all that stuff. So, thank you again. And I will catch up with y'all tomorrow. Bye.